off your phone.
Texting, bro.
There's stuff out there.
Oh, wait. I saw it and I wasn't allowed to look fully at it, so I had to come back and
Well, we can't blow our load too soon. So I'm basically gonna take some notes for my FD on how to make it look nice and clean it up real sick.
He really means notes. Like, there's a lot of notes to be taken.
This thing is really well done.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Welcome back.
So let's go take a look at that. Wait, I forgot one. Hey. Yeah. We couldn't stop looking at it earlier, man. It's way, way, way clean.
Yeah, I guess she's a real good looker, and man, you just don't see these things very often, and it's kind of rare to see them on the road. And Johnny's car is really special.
So first off, tell us about yourself.
My brother and I ran Twins Turbo Motorsports for a bunch of years, and this is one of the last cars we built here for our good friend Johnny Cho, who we've known for 20 plus years. And Johnny used to work with us on a race team, so you know, we go way back. So Johnny's a rotard, so he's into these rotaries here. Hey. So I have mad respect for the rotary because of what it is, how much power you can make from how big it is. So we just decided we were going to do something cool with Johnny's car here. And just like everything we do, we kind of just sit down and hammer out what's the wildest, craziest kind of combination that we could put together.
Right.
And with being reasonable, because I mean, you could just, you know, you could bolt on a giant turbo that doesn't do nothing. It's a dyno queen, whereas this is a real usable power band. This thing is a...
Because this is a full-on street car, huh?
This is a street car, right?
What made you want to build this for a street car?
You know, my first car was an RX-7. It was
Okay.
an 83. It was an 83 GSL converted to SE.
Nice.
But
so it's hard to not go back to your roots when you got the pockets for it. I know the feeling. I'm in the same boat right now.
This is 14 years in the making.
You've had this for 14 years?
14 years.
Wow. Yeah, these things are becoming super rare. So when you can get your hands on one, you keep
and
it.
as you know, as a rotary guy, I mean, it's special. You know, it's a special procedure to run the thing, to keep it alive. Everything about it is specific. I do piston engines. Everybody can do piston engines. When you get something like this to work, it's like you feel like you've accomplished something.
No, yeah, they're definitely special. So obviously...
So we got on the hot side of the engine there. We go with the long exhaust runner. We like to produce torque. It's shown us in the past that it produces torque. So it's got like a 19-inch long runner.
All
on the header
the way
with a
from
big
there,
merge,
all the way around.
all the way down. So it's a really long runner on the header. And we have a big divergence for the wastegate right here, so it gets a lot of
so is this
priority.
Is this twin scroll into one, or is that an open?
It's an open.
It's a 50 mil gate.
Where does
That's
the
the
dump?
60.
Where's the dump tube going?
So the dump tube goes down and it snakes all the way to the bottom of the car and it dumps back into the exhaust.
That's what, yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say there's no reason for all of this unless it's going back into the exhaust. So.
Because it's a street car.
Yeah.
And then you know when these things are on boil, the
they're
wastegate's
loud.
open half the time, and it's
Which is awesome.
Super loud. So
Cool. And what turbo are you running on here?
So we went with the Borgwarner EFR 9180. It's one of the first uses of this thing on a rotary here. We actually put it into the matchbot with Borgwarner. We talked to the engineers over there. They told us it wouldn't work. It just doesn't. The math doesn't add up. And I'm like, we've been doing this for 20 years. The math on paper, I know that this tells me this is going to do X. We know it's going to do X because of the size of the wheels and the floats.
Right.
So it's like it has to do this. And the engineer's like, yeah, it's not going to do it. So this thing on E85 made 725 on the tire.
Crap.
And how much boost?
630 pound-feet of torque.
What?
At 41 pounds of boost.
Woo! That's the party knob, huh?
Wow.
All the way up.
All the way up.
What are you running at on the street? I know you don't run it at 41.
Well, I got a dial, so I can turn
So
it
when
up
you
and down.
when you need 41, you got it.
right.
What's done to the engine? It's a Bridgeport, or
It's just a big street port. It's nothing crazy. You know, it's pinned all the way
nothing crazy.
around, unlike most of them.
It's a lot of pins too. Huh?
Yeah, it's a lot of pins. It has a pin at every bolt hole between each housing.
And the reason they pin the motors is so they spin so fast, they'll actually spin the plates and break everything. So
Yeah. So
you pin them.
keep that together and pin
Yeah.
them. You could put a lot of boost into them.
cool. Well, I love the ducting and stuff that you have here. It looks like you have an intake box down there that also feeds the intercooler up.
Yeah, actually, if the front up here has got a big duct, and
I like the 90s mesh.
I mean, it's again, even
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
I
like
see
on
it.
the angle, it's a 45-degree
I
angle on
see
the
it
mesh.
now.
It takes up twice as much mesh to do this as opposed to going 90 degree.
Right.
But it looks better. So anyway, so the bottom priority is the radiator, dual pass. The top here gets separated and goes through the intercooler, and
Well, I
it's
like
got a
about-
box over there for the air.
I like that
Air
it evacuates the air too, right? Because you
Yeah.
have the scoop that just takes all the hot air passing through the intercooler and the radiator and pushes it right out, right?
Creates a little bit of downforce on the hood.
I need to step my
And,
craftsmanship game up.
that's
This
nice.
is fire.
That's the type of crap that I really wish I knew how to make. Because
pretty
Super
cool.
nice.
I just taught him. Is this cardboard, right? Yeah.
And so like we had our guys Long and Jim at Buddha Concept Design did all the bodywork on the car, painted it, did everything on it. So we had them like make a little extra lip here for us so that we could attach
Wow,
the,
that's nice.
the duct to it. And then you know, this is all bent up aluminum, handmade. My brother does it. We bend the border around here, and each one of these get a spot weld to there, so there's no
Nice.
epoxy or anything.
No
It's all
corner
welded
skip.
together.
No corner skip.
So is this the internal blow-off valve on the compressor?
Exactly.
I see you guys
So we had
bleeded
one
it.
up here.
Yeah,
and,
traditional. Like,
we just got rid of it. We're going to replace the pipe here, but yeah, it's got the blow-off valve.
how does that work? for
It's
you guys?
actually
Good?
really neat, you know. It keeps the response time between gear changes goes down dramatically because it keeps so much pressure inside the system still.
And that recircs back into like the anti-surge portion of the housing, right? So
Yeah, it goes right back
in.
into the right into the compressor housing. And so when the blow-off valve opens up, that traditionally gets spent into the atmosphere. When you get back in the throttle, that is gone from the system. So by having it back into the system, it's just it's there, more air in there for when you get back after the throttle. It doesn't have to fill up the volume.
So much science.
Yeah.
Did you guys build this intake manifold?
The intake manifold is built. It's an aftermarket lower that we ported, and then this is all hand hammered aluminum here that my brother shaped.
Wow.
And beat
Hand
up.
hammered.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I love all this stuff that you guys do too. Is this is just like what?
Yeah,
so
it's
like
heat shielding.
DEI heat shielding or
Yeah,
whatever?
exactly. A lot of that stuff, and
Cool.
You got-
we even so it's got an electric water pump on here, which we control the speed of it depending on how hot the thing gets.
Right.
To have the coolant slow down in the cooler, then loiter in there
Smart.
longer, or speed up a little
How
bit.
are you controlling all of that?
It's got a Motec on it.
Okay,
so
that
this
was
car's got a
gonna
Motec. It's got a PDM on it too, which is a power distribution module. So it doesn't have any fuses or relays in the whole car. So this guy over here, Greg and Alex, did the wiring for the
They
car.
don't want to be. They don't want to be a part of it.
They did all this fancy stuff over
All the
here?
fancy stuff here.
Yeah.
And these guys kick butt. They do tons of badass wiring. This car has got no factory wiring in it at all.
Uh-oh.
Everything in it is an aftermarket wire. The blinkers, the lights, everything.
What's up, bud?
What's up?
You could don't
doing?
be shy, man. You could get on the show.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
That's
well,
cool,
now you're
man.
on the show.
Yeah. Thanks for coming,
How
man.
much work did you put into this, Alex? A lot of work,
It's a
right?
little bit.
A
No.
little bit.
How long you been
days.
doing that kind of stuff?
Not a long time, but
Your whole life.
yeah.
What's your dream car?
I have to say Supra, definitely Mark IV Supra.
It's hard to.
My man.
Right here, bro.
I was just listening for those last night. And was like, damn it, they're still really expensive.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
I heard there was a rotary that was going to get rowdy out here, and I was hoping it would be a little Twerk Stallion action. This'll do.
All right.
This'll do.
All right.
Well, the engine bay is great. We could probably nerd out over this for the next like 3 hours, but let's take a look around the rest of this thing.
Oh, so
Are you done on it?
what-
Check
no,
out the fuel system, because I know you're a rotary guy.
Yeah,
So I know
some
you have
kind
a
of.
lot of effort to try and get fuel into this thing. These things are thirsty.
I was going to ask you how many injectors you had and stuff like that. So.
Okay, excellent question. This thing has got only 4 injectors. The 2 primaries are ID 2200s. The secondaries are Moran 5500cc injectors.
Wow.
So
What is a 5500cc injector? Is it just a hose?
it's a garbage
It's just-
hose. And that's in there. We got a heat shield on it.
It's like this way.
Yeah, I've never.
I
Massive.
didn't even know they made those.
So I have 6 injectors, but I wouldn't need 6 if I had 2 5500s. So.
No, you wouldn't. But you'd have a tough time controlling them.
What's the what duty cycle do you run those at? Like, is it?
Well, the best thing about it is the IDs are controlling the idle. Then when it sees boost,
Right.
the big Morans come on and add additional fuel on.
Right.
What size fuel line are you running to a 5500cc injector?
So it's got a dash 10 feed. It's all Brown & Miller Racing Solution crimped end hoses. So it feeds dash 10. It splits up in Ys both sides of the rail, out of the rail, and into the welded regulator. The fuel pumps on this thing, holy mackerel!
What does it have? 044s or?
That's
That's cute.
Yeah.
he knows. You wouldn't get this thing to do anything above idle probably. So this thing, so we run on ethanol, so it's got a steel tank, so we had to have the whole inside of the tank coated so that it won't corrode. The fuel system consists of a MagnaFuel MP4302, which is the biggest pump that they make. It's a big mechanical pump with an electric motor on it that runs all the time. When it sees 5 pounds of boost, a Weldon 2345A comes on top of that, which got a check valve in front of it normally, and then they both are on feeding this thing. So when this
Jeez.
thing's on boil, to get 40 pounds of boost, to have rock solid fuel pressure, we're gonna have 2 massive pumps, which are literally enough to run. We have one of those on either car, it would make 1,000 horsepower. On a piston car.
I'm thinking what we should do in your car is power a fuel pump, a mechanical fuel pump, by like a CR 500cc 2-stroke dirt bike engine, so you're wrapping to wrap your breath.
So basically, put you in a dirt bike in the back of the car.
Just hammer it.
Feeding.
Oh, cut the footage of that kid. That's me running your fuel pump.
So I know you said obviously you're not necessarily a rotary guy, but you guys took the challenge.
What was the biggest hurdle going from a piston engine to a Magic Dorito thing?
The fuel system.
Yeah?
All the fuel,
I mean,
man.
because in reality, you know, we applied everything that we know to the piston fuel system to this, and we did it 4 times until we got it right.
Why do they require so much fuel? Because like when you think about it, right, it's like a 1.3 liter.
Sure, this is 79 cubic inch engine right here.
Right. So what makes it take so much fuel? Is it that it pushes so much air, or is it just that it spins
There's a lot
so
of
fast?
air.
Like
It has
what-
2 compression strokes per revolution.
Oh, okay.
So-
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So with the 2 compression strokes, I mean, you could tell them.
I can't tell him.
Okay.
I'm learning right now.
Yeah,
I learn every day.
Yeah.
They're very thirsty. It's 2 compression strokes per revolution, and they use the fuel. All engines use fuel to cool the combustion chamber also, but they use a lot of fuel to cool the combustion chamber on these. And the oil system goes through the eccentric shaft too, so it creates a lot of heat. So they have to add a lot of fuel onto it to keep the mechanical parts cool.
So
they actually inject oil into the engines of these.
Right.
So we have
we premix.
we do a premix on it. So
Right.
we've taken the oil squirters out, and so every time that he puts fuel into it, he puts a premix on it, like your little 2-stroke.
Like an ounce per gallon
So,
type of thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you guys running Ignite, or is it just standard pump E85?
Yeah, pump E85. We use the good stuff for the dyno, but you know, just
Just farting around town. It runs on whatever comes out.
yeah,
of
it
the
runs
pump.
on whatever comes out of the pump.
Well,
This thing's got 2 oil coolers on it too, which is really neat. So we got a big oil system on it. It's got a air to water
Can't see.
over
Air
here,
to water oil cooler.
and an air to air after
So
that.
let me ask you a question, right? Air to water oil cooler.
Which you
don't
could see
you
down
don't see
here, this
heat soak
aluminum-
on that thing on the street from
Yeah.
idling, from hot
I mean-
temps and stuff.
That's why we both
Follow
both
the
of them.
lines.
Right.
So it goes to the air to water to stabilize it, and then it comes out and goes to the air just to knock it down a little bit more. Before it
Oh,
goes to the
okay.
engine.
Okay. So that's kind of how. Yeah.
By cooling
Okay.
the oil with coolant, it kind of gets them at the same level, and it
Right.
keeps them within a pretty good degree of each other, so one doesn't spike.
I was gonna say, do you ever run into higher, like coolant temps if the oil's real hot and it's?
Yeah, actually, that helps
Cooling.
to level them out.
Right.
I mean, this thing runs really cool too.
I mean, with all the ducting and everything,
I
I'd
mean,
imagine so.
yeah.
It
I'm
looks like
telling
a
you, we're
really.
making pulls on a dyno with this thing, and again, we're on World Motorsports, so a wind tunnel dyno, so there's like an 80-mile-an-hour headwind, so it's a lot easier. But making 700 to the tire on this thing, to pull it to 180 degrees, 30 seconds later to 155 degrees.
Right, that's
I mean,
gnarly.
this thing runs cool.
Yeah,
and that's
that-
the key to keeping
What,
these
what
alive.
fans do you have?
And it's got a small.
One single.
Too small.
Spalls handle the business.
And the radiator is actually it's an intercooler cooler that was
Repurposed.
repurposed to make a.
Oh, nice.
Not
So it's like
repurposed,
bar.
but
It's
made.
like bar and plate instead of tube and
Exactly.
fin or whatever.
Exactly.
Why is that? Just more flow.
We were
just trying
trying
it out.
to just see if it would work to keep control of the heat on this thing. You know?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, oil temps are super important with these
Yeah, I mean,
with
oil
these
temps are
bad
the key to this
boys.
thing. We have a buddy of ours who raced rotaries professionally for like 25 years. Daytona, the whole 9 yards. I was at Daytona with him in 2005 running a RX-3 3-rotor natural aspirated car.
So you have consulting, huh?
And the key to these things is keeping the oil temperature under control.
Yeah.
You're saying we could.
Maintain that.
Yeah.
No,
You're
no,
saying we
sorry.
could pull the front bumper off easily.
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
take a
yeah,
look
yeah.
at the ducting? And
Kind of want to look at it now, huh?
Like, I want to see what goes on back here. The engine bay is just great.
Yeah, we spent 15 minutes on just this, so
The rest of the car, we're like, yeah.
Told you.
This is a Nads. For all you guys that hate Nads, he's the guy who brings in this stuff.
he brings the grown man cars to this
Yeah.
place.
Oh man, they even made the wires long enough that you could pull the bumper off and not unplug.
That's a big daddy
That's
filter.
all Alex right there.
Like that's a smart move.
That's a big oil cooler too. You said you have 2 of them?
Yeah, so this is the air to water,
Ah, I see.
and this is the air to air down here.
Man, that's some smart things.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an air to water oil cooler.
Me
before.
either. It's definitely a first.
I gotta ask. You said that's all Alex. Alex, you did this?
They didn't hire me for nothing.
Hey!
Yeah.
Wait, what did you do?
We did all the wiring.
Basically, all the wires right here.
Sweet, I got a 1J S14 that I'm putting together. You're too young to pay because it's time. If you want to come throw some things
Give
together.
it a couple years.
All the Hoonigan socks you can wear.
You got my number.
You guys accidentally put a plug here. You didn't just crimp it together. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Not the only kind of like
Hokey thing, you found some hokey?
the only kind of like hokey fix that they just put some of this like clear little hose to not rub through something there.
That hose
Human.
probably put on
Human.
12 years ago. I think I
Human.
put that hose on 12 years ago.
12 years ago?
I'm surprised there's just not like
it
a.
was clear when I put
I'm
it
just
on.
surprised there's not like a titanium holder bracket with like some crazy clip.
You know what? We're gonna redo that now.
Shame. We had to shame you on something. You can't come in here with too nice of stuff.
So what do you got body wise? I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's got a what is that 99 spec JDM bumper in the front or something or.
See West.
Oh shit! I don't know, man.
Well, this is what made you think that it was
Exactly.
like.
It looks like
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like an Infiniti, but it's just. I think it's because it's black. It kind of threw me off too.
I love how hype Nads gets.
Sorry.
Hand bent tubing, hand welded, hand bent tubing, welded with tabs. Look at it from the back.
Does that just help guide the air?
Well, it makes sure that debris doesn't get in there and kill the coolers. This is all stainless steel.
Not just Home Depot mesh.
So
not just chicken wire.
It's not chicken wire. It's not what you got from behind your drywall to hold the spackle to your wall. That's cool. And again, you know, we could put that on a square pattern too. And you put it on a 45 degree, it uses up twice as much material. It's very expensive material, but there's nothing too good for Johnny.
Nothing too good for Johnny.
And then those fenders are carbon too, right, Johnny?
Yeah, the hood and fenders are carbon. You can see the weave. It's painted black, but if you put it at an angle, you can see the weave.
Gee, oh yeah. Oh man, you're right. I do see it. So is your brakes and wheels and everything all pretty much OEM? I see you got the
brakes
well,
are
not the
all
wheels,
OEM.
obviously.
We cleaned them up, and we just rebuilt the whole suspension. All the arms we buffed and cleaned. It's got all new bushings in it and everything. And
Yeah.
Wheel studs and everything's rebuilt. And it's got EBC pads and new lines, and it's all zeroed out. I mean, everything underneath the car is pretty much brand new.
I can't imagine how nice it looks under.
It looks
So,
really neat
yeah.
too. It's clean and handles like a. I mean, you can imagine these things handle awesome.
And of course, it's got a full cage in it, but it's like the
Street car.
most full. But like, it's got a full cage, but it's got every interior bit that you could want besides the steering column cover.
Yeah, the last piece.
It smells like a new car in here. Oh, that's so clean going through the dash like that, and you covered it up and everything.
Don't want to distract you, but check out the switch panel that we made. So this is all 3D printed right here, so that the trim switches and everything are in
Wow.
the middle of this nice.
It's got traction control?
So yeah, the Motec traction control, and we got 12 positions on it. So Shane Tecklenburg does all the Motec tuning, Shane T. And so we have 12 positions of traction control, so it's like more slip, less slip, however
Right.
you want it to go. So you could tailor how the car hangs out, or you know, if it's getting too sideways for you, making too much power.
Super clean.
Yeah, you guys know how to car.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this you just clear coated the cage or just?
Yeah, just the getting in and out of it. Oh, actually, no, that's actually clear vinyl.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, the rub going in and out wears out the clear coat
Right,
eventually.
right. No, this is
Sunroof works.
Yeah.
dang, man.
Start this thing up.
Yeah, actually, that's what we've been missing. I want to hear it sing a little bit.
They all start like that.
That's the premix.
That long crank.
You hear that pump just?
Louder than the exhaust.
Yo, it's fairly quiet for.
So quiet for something that makes 800 horsepower.
Yeah.
Isn't this like the ultimate street sleeper?
Yeah.
Like it's like mild exterior.
This
right?
is a really chill looking FD. Oh, you guys did a good job with this thing. It looks dope. Sounds dope. Now I'm ready to hear her eat. You want to let her eat?
Yeah.
Let's let her eat.
Let's do it, Johnny. There's no oil. It's a rotary. There's no oil on the floor.
Wow, low key did.
Good.
That thing wakes up.
Goodness gracious.
Sweet redemption.
Goodness gracious.
So good.
And I respect the machine gun.
Line lock? It just set.
Well, it doesn't have the torque to push the front.
Oh, wow.
Hey, they're my people. They're my people. They're my people. I know what we got. But that thing makes 600 foot-pounds, though. Woo!
Want to do it again?
Yeah, let's do it again, man.
Hells yeah!
Dang.
Okay.
Dang.
We never even mentioned that thing's like roasting 295.
Yeah, oh yeah, those are big daddies.
Triple A's too.
Those are big daddies. The brakes are hot. Everything's hot.
Johnny, you're gonna have to clean that off of there, bro.
Oh man,
I mean, that ain't acceptable, bro.
I think it's a little dirty.
Yeah.
Got a little rubber there.
Your shirt pretty much tells the story of what you did to those tires.
Johnny,
Do you know what to do?
What's
I don't
that?
think Johnny knows what to do.
Well, at the
I
end
think I
of
do know what to do.
Do you?
I think so.
you,
Okay,
you know,
ready?
I think I'm ready.
you ready?
Yeah.
Give us one.
That's a wrap!
That's pretty. We didn't even have to fluff them or anything. He just kind of handled it.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, nice work.